Ben and Kyle from Cinema Twins. Today we're gonna show you the set of Grounded. If you haven't seen Grounded, it's a new series that we have done. There's 5 episodes. This should be releasing after the 5th episode is released, maybe a long time after, maybe right
February
after.
10th.
February 10th is when we're going to release the 5th. So we're all done right now, but either the day after tomorrow we're going to post the 4th one. So we are pretty close to be done with posting all the series. We're going to show you the set and some funny
Clips.
We'll do some bloopers and a little backstory or little stories about filming. So this is where it all started. Before even filming at all, we did film the part where I am on the ground and then come find you, and then it shows me getting 3 sticks and put it, and then for 30 minutes we made this whole thing.
Yeah.
It has kind of deformed.
Yeah, I accidentally knocked this big beam that's holding all together, so we're gonna have to fix it up.
So this is where a lot of times we wake up, especially in this. I think we wake up 3 times. Yeah. So this thing is here because there is a snake hole and it's wet right there. So we put that there.
So we're risking our lives.
Yeah. So nature hurts, but it looks really good on camera. So we were gonna film our little campsite over there, but then we went over here and then found this is a big open area. So so that's what we did.
Yeah, and over there a few years ago, maybe when we were 8 or something, we had a teepee that we built and we had a whole fort stuff, but we never actually came over here. When we first came over here, we remember this log, this huge tree that fell over. Might be the biggest one here. It's always been there. So this is kind of new, but still kind of old nostalgic type of set.
Yeah, so another backstory to this is that we had to wear the same shirt every episode because they don't have any shirts until they find the backpack, and still they wear the same kind of shirt. So I don't think this has been watched because this is in every episode. He wears that in 3 episodes.
This?
That your beanie.
I think I wear it the whole time. Every episode I have.
Yeah, I think
but
so.
I changed my coat. I had this camouflage green one, but
yeah, it was really bad. You would think that we filmed it in one day and then just edit it over time.
It's been a month. Whenever this is gonna release, this is I think the 1st of February. But whenever this is released, it's been a month since we started.
Yeah, so we basically filmed probably 3 days of the week, and so every time we went out to film, we had to find our shirts that we had worn before. Okay, up onto the next set. This is the campfire set, as you can remember in the
3rd?
I want to say 3rd.
Probably the 2nd. I think it's at the end of the
something
2nd.
like that. This is where I make the fire. If y'all want to know a little back thing, do you know what this is? These are little poppers. So basically, without them being popped, they kind of look like this. And if you throw them at the ground, they pop and they make a loud sound. But so we had some left over for New Year's. That just tells you the timeline. And that is actually the rock that was laying on here, I'm pretty sure. So in the scene in episode 2 at the very end, when I'm doing this with the rocks and then hitting them together, we had little poppers, a group of poppers right behind the walk, and I just smashed them, and you can kind of see a little bit of smoke.
Yeah, and we didn't want to actually show them that there's actually poppers there, so I decided to put some leaves in front of it so it would focus on the leaves and just blur out the back. So it's almost like it was never there, but it was.
So yeah, this is the campsite. You remember me doing this. Here's a clip of that. This is the log. We wanted to get 3 logs of this, but there was barely any of those. We found this one right over there, but we couldn't find any other one that is just like that. So we just kept one.
Oh yeah, by the way, the river is actually maybe 40 feet that way. It's maybe
not that
1
far.
minute walk.
Yes.
And so it was hard because we had all our stuff, like the camera, the phone. We had the phone in the backpack, and we had to make sure that nobody stole it because we can't take the whole backpack. So it was just right there.
Another struggle is our house, and the actual neighborhood is right there. As you can remember this forest from some of the HP duels if you watched those videos. But our hill's right there, and then the house is just right there. So we showed this way as little as possible, and there were some points where you could see it, and we were just hoping for the best. You can't see it. If you do see a little bit, you're like,
you
maybe
have to
that's
pointed
just,
out.
Yeah, you would have to be pointed out. Anyway, on to the next set.
What is the next set?
Well, let's go to the log. So the log is I am actually sitting on it on the first episode.
I don't think anybody really noticed that.
And okay, here's some spoilers. If you haven't seen episode 5 or some of it, just go watch it now before you watch this. We are actually sitting on this in episode 5. Mandy is sitting right here. Me, basically, I play Mandy, which is horrible because the wig is so... Yeah. Right there is Kyle. I'm right here.
Really dangerous.
It was this was a scary one because if we drop the camera, of course, it'll kind of get hurt. It won't break it, but it's just scary if you drop it. If you fall yourself, it'll be scary.
Oh, and this is where, spoilers, the Phantom's right here, and Mandy comes right.
Mandy's like right here, and then the Phantom.
Yeah, the Phantom. In the fourth and fifth episode, its body changed because we found we had the mask. Those were all Halloween costumes, old Halloween costumes. But we decided to use that other one, and luckily it glowed in the dark. So that one scene where he walks in front of the camera, luckily it showed him.
Yeah. Here's a major spoiler. So cover your ears if you haven't seen episode 5. Right over. Ow! 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 I want to say right here is where. Oh, right here. Hold up. Right here. This is it. Yeah. This is where
Mandy gets eaten.
/killed. And of course, Will is right here. It doesn't actually show Nick right here at all. It just shows me, and just assuming that Nick is right there. So a lot of people, it's not like a ghost. It's more like a alien with kind of powers.
Yeah, because this is another planet.
Yeah, this is a completely different planet. You just never know what's on a different planet.
In the name of it, I don't think if anybody caught it. It's called Gagillion, and it's an inside joke.
Yeah, it is a big inside joke. So we're gonna go check out the river.
This one here first.
Oh, right here.
This is in the first episode and the last episode. I lost longest because the pilot and the finale. This is a jacket. I should have showed it more on the camera, but
because we wiped some red makeup, and it's kind of gross that I had to write it on it.
Yeah, that's not our jacket, by the way.
Yeah, it was just luckily we found it, and maybe unluckily we found it because you never know. Somebody might watch it and like, hey, that's my coat. So here is the river. In episode 2, as you can see right over there. So what we did for this thing, we actually a little bit closer when we did this. So Kyle got his black jacket and then just ran and then tucked in all of his arms and just booked it.
If we had our arms, it would have been
Yeah.
Sasquatch.
Also in episode 4, I wanted to get the shot of us like not being able to like get close to each other from over there, but there is like no way for Miles to get on that side. I almost tried to jump like with a really little clearing right there, but we just decided it's more safer to actually just put it in the forest. It did end up a good shot though. You might be kind of confused why they couldn't touch each other. We didn't actually explain that. We didn't. We should have explained it in episode 5. So basically, Mandy, the manager, they basically have, since they're test subjects, of course they have like a chip inside of them to track them and everything. And so Mandy, this is just clearing up. Mandy turned off that chip so they couldn't be more than 10 feet away from each other, because they were never supposed to be together. They were 2 different tough subjects, and then he just found them accidentally. So she didn't want, and then once they actually touched, the chip broke, and that's basically leads to everything. So sorry if that wasn't clear. So let's go down the side of this river and go to the part where Will gets separated from Nick. So right here is where Will wakes up. There's a lot of waking up, I gotta say. But it's how it goes. This is exactly where it wakes up. I think, is that the imprints? Maybe. And this is where he kind of like gets up and stuff.
So in episode 4, we actually, like, one part, for some reason, I don't know if it got deleted accidentally or it didn't record, but there's actually a part of Nick hearing Will call and say Nick, and then he starts running. And then editing, I noticed that, and I overlapped another Will from one of the first episodes or second episode. So I just tried to put that in to make sure that they know that each other is there. So it's kind of unclear when he starts running, and then you see Nick coming out of the woods and started running.
Yeah.
So that was unfortunate.
By the way, maybe if y'all are watching it like on every time it uploaded, you might have seen the difference in the editing, because we switched. I started with the first, Ben did the second, I did the third, Ben did the fourth, and I did the last.
I did like half
the
last.
Ben did some of the last, because that was like, you have to make it perfect. Where are we going? This way.
Hey, this way. This is
What?
I put this in during episode 4.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Just to mark where.
Yeah, we had a lot of markers for where we're supposed to run.
Like, we marked where we're gonna like fall back while running towards each other. A lot of things.
Ouch!
So we don't have that much bloopers, but we have some. So while we're walking back, we're gonna show you that. That looks so doofy. Yes.
Okay. Are you serious?
Okay, yeah. This one's good.
Wow, there's a lighter in there.
You said to throw it.
I didn't say to throw it.
You said throw it over there.
Ooh, dang. So, another creepy story. This is actually a good creepy story. We were filming whenever they first find Mandy at night. And
that was still episode 5, right?
That was the start of episode 5, yeah. And it was complete darkness. It was like, I don't know.
It was like 8.
Yeah, it was winter. It's winter right now. It's still winter, believe it or not. And it was like 8 o'clock whenever it was dark. And we were trying to get a good angle. And we were filming that scene, the one with Mandy and them, and they're like confronting her, and it was complete darkness. We couldn't see around us, and we kept hearing noises. Every time we heard the noises, it wasn't from different direction. It was the exact same time and exact same place. Like sometimes over there, sometimes that way, and it's creepy because this is public. This is like, anybody can be here. We've heard people go down here. I've seen people down here. Didn't you say like a few years ago?
There are people like walking in the forest like teenagers. They're pretending they're like, ow, like something like that. But the really thing that we used to come down here with our friends, we really believed in the creepypasta called Slenderman, and it's basically like a scary person that lives in the woods. And I mentioned that. That it's maybe Slender Man.
Yeah, what if it's Slender Man?
Yeah, and I don't know if I want to show it, but if I do, this is it. This is us getting scared.
You show yourself.
I ain't going out there.
Yeah, I am.
Slender Man light.
Put on your... Stop, don't say that. And it was like so paranoid because, was it recording then? I don't know.
I think so.
Well,
I remember watching it back.
Oh.
And I was there.
It was fun. And we were so paranoid after that because even though I don't believe in cinema, if somebody says that, what if there's a guy right next to you behind your shoulder, you're going to get scared. So that's what I was, and I started getting paranoid. And so we ended up just, because we kept hearing noises, might have just been, we ended up going to like the front of the forest, like right over there, like right at the edge where the trail is, where you see at the last episode. And we just did there because we were too scared to actually stay deep in the forest. And also, I forgot.
Oh my
Dang.
goodness.
You were going to get something or something like that. Or maybe, oh no, it was night and I was getting the costume. So we left the costume down here. And in the end, we actually realized that Ben had actually put it in the backpack and didn't check it. So I was there for nothing, but I was still in there. And when I was coming out of the forest, because I knew it wasn't there, I heard like walking behind me, and then I just stopped, and I just booked it back, and it was really fun. I know, it's kind of scary in this forest at night. You might think, oh, it's not scary. I've been outside when it's night. There's no light. Like seriously, we had to bring out, we didn't even have a flashlight, so we just used the light from the phone. Ooh. And so that's why, if you can see Mandy like leaning over and smiling, that I had to use that. We did have to incorporate it in the story that she was just using it as a flashlight, so I had to use that, and we also used the phone light to do that dark scene. And so also the thing about the videotape is that all this is inspired of Blair Witch Project, Stranger Things, Lord of the Flies, book. I don't think y'all have seen. It's like a 1970 film or something like that, and Stephen King's. No, it wasn't Stephen King. So it was a book. It was a scary book, and so this started basically. One of our fans were over for Cinema Twins, and no, it's not like we're letting them come to our house. Yeah, our fan is in our family. So they're over, and I was thinking, we were just talking, looking at old photo albums, and I was just thinking we need a series for Cinema Twins because we need something for people to look forward to and then come back, or something like that. So I was thinking, what could I do a series on? And I thought, well, we've done so much things in the house and barely anything in the woods. We should do a series in the woods. Then I thought maybe something. At first, it was mostly just like a survival thing, and then it incorporated that would be kind of boring. Mm-hmm. And then I thought maybe it'll be something dystopian, which people really like, something that something that people were excited about. One of the hardest things was getting Mandy to be unliked, because Mandy, like, your first whenever she's explaining herself, you're like, oh well, that was just part of the government,
And then we only had one episode to make her.
Yeah, we barely had any time to make her, because we, spoiler, did have to kill her off, because we needed something for the alien to feed on, which I'm gonna get back to about the alien, but we needed somebody to feed on besides. Oh, I knew it was gonna be a government person, and we just wanted to make her, because you don't want to kill off a character with that nobody has dislikes about, just even the little bit.
J.K. Rowling doesn't say that.
Yeah, but that's the way I was thinking, and so I just tried to put in her, the stupid kids line, and
Throwing the stick.
yeah, throwing the stick. That, I don't know about that one, but still, but yeah, she was killed off. So it was kind of justified, because she did let 35 test subjects die, and it was her idea, so that was kind of part of the disliking.
And another hard thing was to get 5. We didn't know how many episodes. We thought maybe 6 or 7, but
Yeah.
we didn't. Every episode, like the first episode, we had so much planned. Second episode, we're like, okay, we can do the river. And third episode, yeah. But then, like, the last few
Yeah.
episodes, what are you going to do? What else?
Yeah.
So every time we came out here, we were, like, brainstorming, what can we do different? And luckily, it actually turned out that every episode was different.
It just slowly comes into, like, oh, maybe this could happen. I feel like the trees make it a good cinematography, the way you can kind of pan past them, so that's a good thing about it. Now about the alien, the reason the alien didn't attack them, if you are kind of that kind of minded person, you would think the alien knows he's killed 35 test subject. He knows what's right and wrong. It's kind of like one of those things. There has been a couple movies like an alien knows was the bad guy, or a monster knows. So he kind of kills the Mandy, and just kind of looks and then goes away.
Also, improvisement.
Oh, a lot. There's probably barely any scription, especially with the camera when we were hiking.
Yeah, what we would do is we would say, okay, our outline is to talk about this, talk about that, and then talk about a little bit of that, and that's what we did. And sometimes we would talk over each other, which would be so annoying, because they would have to start the whole take, because then it would be like, well, that would be real, but we didn't want it to be too tacky.
Yeah. So it was a pretty hard series to film. We had to keep up with it. Also, we had to post actual things, so we posted the soccer stereotypes, and we didn't want to just only post the Grounded for a month. So you never know if there's going to be another series or maybe a season 2. So just be ready for anything.
We have everything planned out, so don't think we're just we just are taking it from our brain.
We have
everything for this year.
I swear I just saw somebody walking back there.
I did hear somebody.
Okay. So we do have a bunch of things ready. Of course, I'm not going to tell you right now, because it will just kind of spoil it. But we're not just, like, posting whatever every day. We have it lined out when we're going to post it. Hopefully school doesn't get on the way. That's another thing about running a YouTube channel. As a kid, there's school. A lot of school.
That's why in summer it's going to be so
Yeah,
fun.
summer is going to get that. I don't know, but be ready for anything. And so thanks for watching this little backstory, behind the scenes kind of. I'm not sure if I'll post a behind the scenes of Grounded. I think this will do. I feel like we posted a lot of behind the scenes of our videos, so I just kind of want to make it kind of mild and want you to keep guessing how we did the things.
I'm guessing they like the parody videos. Home Alone, we released, I think, in the middle of December, and it got 100 views. And one of our Grounded one is like 50 views, and I don't know. I think they like parodies, but definitely tell us what you like or some ideas.
Yeah, if you want to see anything, any movie parodies or any maybe series ideas or even movie like actual standalone videos ideas, then it will be fun to do that. But thanks for watching this behind the scenes. Tell me if you liked the Grounded series. We'll see you in the next parody or series or video.